best hope for a DS9 remaster. So what the hell, what are you looking at this video for? Go click, go click, go click. Hello my fellow explorers, and welcome to Final Frontier. Then welcome to the week 2 of the week in sci-fi, your weekly source for the top stories in science fiction and science fantasy. Now smash that like button, mash that subscribe button, and demolish that notification bell. Now let's hit warp drive. These are the biggest pieces of news in science fiction. Yes, last week's episodes. Okay, I admit it's not a great start. Now, I had a business trip. I've got my excuses lined up. I had a business trip. I was in Munich, Germany, but I had taken this little baby. But normal services resumed, so these will hopefully be weekly from now on. I know this one's even late, but seriously, I only got back last week really late. Let's see the top news for this week. Make it so. And so for our top story, we have that ever-running saga. Yes, it's James Gunn Gate. Now with Disney singing Kumbaya around their sanctimonious campfire, it's understandable that, you know, things would not be moving along at a nice pace for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now the official word is that Disney and Marvel have postponed the film to regroup now that the film is rudderless. But the latest news is that they are using James Gunn's script for the movie, so there is a little hope for the franchise yet, although Dave Bautista, who plays Drax, is doing his utmost to try and get himself off doing that movie. Who watched this space, who knows what will happen then. As for Gunn himself, it seems many studios are clambering for his signature, and understandably so with the success of the Guardians franchise. As soon as his furor dies down after X months, I'm sure we will hear about his next venture. And if I was the guys behind the DCU, if they have any common sense at all, then they would be breaking down his door now to get him to sign, because that franchise desperately needs somebody of Gunn's caliber to give it the shot in the arm. And we have a question for you guys. So what do you get if you combine a spaceship and space insects? Yes, you have what do you have? Wait. Yes, you have Starship Troopers, but you also have Galaga. Yes, the 80s love affair continues in the media, and the classic game is being brought to the small screen in a 12-episode animated series called Galaga Chronicles. Yes, because we need to add another name in the name that we all know the game is about, so let's call it Chronicles rather than Galaga. I don't know. Anyway, take a step forward. Roberto Orsi, he is the writer and producer for series such as Hawaii Five-0, the Sleepy Hollow TV series, and Star Trek Into Darkness. And he has been brought aboard Galaga Chronicles to write and produce the series. So I don't know what I expect will happen of the series, but you know, I'm open to it all. I mean, the game is just about a spaceship that shoots little insects, so who knows what the actual series will be like. And I guess everything's open. By Grabthar's hammer, we have disappointing news for fans of Galaxy Quest, as the proposed new Amazon TV adaptation of the 1999 series, has it been that long? The 1999 film is in a holding pattern, apparently because Amy Powell, an executive at Paramount, decided to open her potty racist mouth, something she unsurprisingly denies. Now I'll add allegedly before the lawyers get at me, but you know, she was fired for her potty mouth. But anyway, never give up, never surrender. This is hopefully just a temporary blip, and we have been promised a continuation of the story. So this isn't a reboot, it's a continuation, and apparently it's in a similar vein to what The Force Awakens was to the original Star Wars trilogy. So make of that what you will. I mean, I guess at least it wasn't The Last Jedi, huh? In the meantime, we all have season 2 of The Orville to look forward to, and that will hopefully satiate our satire demands. And that's going to hit at the end of the year on the 30th of December, I believe. So it just squeezed in. And are you a fan of the Orville? Because I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they will go in Season 2 when they have a little bit more free reign, I think. And people understand what the series is about rather than what they thought it was going to be. To boldly go where someone has gone before. Now, CBS, the creators of Star Trek Discovery, have been sued or are going to be sued over similarities between the series and a little known indie video game called Tardigrade. Now, the game in question has never been released, and I remember when the series was initially announced that there was a little bit of a kerfuffle between this game and the series. Now, it seems that the developer of the game and CBS executives have been, I would say, locked in negotiations, or rather locked in non-negotiations, because apparently the CBS executives have been stringing this guy along. I mean, this is one side of the story. Now, the reason why there's an issue is because the game itself uses the same core space travel concept, namely a large blue tardigrade, which allows humans to travel from one place in the galaxy to another. That sounds rather familiar to Discovery watchers. Now, the negotiations, as I said, with the CBS executives have failed, so this guy, the developer, is now pursuing legal means. Now, I don't know the truth behind the story. If you look at the image over there, you can see there's lots of similarities. Now, I know the tardigrade imagery, that was there from the beginning. The other imagery, I don't know at what point in the timeline versus what point of the Discovery timeline they all came about. You know, images can be similar. You can't copyright a redhead woman. Okay, so, but if the entire concept is nicked, then maybe there is something to answer for. And I think maybe this developer is just hoping for a little bit of a payout, just to take away any of the controversy. And good luck to him, because, you know, CBS has always been, I know personally, CBS has been very, very tough on their copyright, and they will not allow even legitimate use. And the last thing somebody wants to do is actually take them to court, because hey, I'm small fry versus the big fry that is CBS. So actually, you know what, so I say good luck to the guy. I hope he gets what's owed and maybe a little bit more. And we have our final piece of news for the week, and this one's a little bit of a biggie, and I'm going to talk about it in a lot more detail a little bit further on after the news segment is over. But let me tell you what this is. This is about the upcoming Star Trek Deep Space Nine commentary documentary called What We Left Behind, which is now in the final stages of post-production, and which I am waited with bated breath. And the reason why is because the documentary makers include Ira Steven Behr. Now, he was the executive producer and showrunner for DS9. Now, everybody except Avery Brooks has been involved in doing new commentary for the series, and it's just looking like the ultimate fan love documentary series thing. It's basically what every DS9 fan would want, and maybe even every Star Trek fan, because I think the love for DS9 has only grown in the last 25 years. Now, the most exciting parts of the documentary, as well as the the commentaries and the new analysis that they'll give, the most exciting parts for me are, one, they have brought in writers to form a writer's room, which is part of the development process on series like Star Trek Discovery, where they come up with episodes and hash episodes out. Now, they brought in writers to figure out what would happen in episode 1 of season 8. Yes, what would that look like? And they've literally spent an entire day, and they filmed, and they came out with the concept for the first episode. And apparently there is a death. There is a death of one of the characters. Now, it surely can't be one of the big ones, but who knows? It'd be really interesting to see what they came up with and how the story would have continued, should they have continued Deep Space Nine. But number 2 is probably one of the biggest things about the series, about the documentary. They will be remastering clips of Deep Space Nine in glorious HD HD. Yes, okay, so it's not the entire series. And talking of which, that's going to be my long form at the end of this video about the remastering the entire series. But we will be getting select scenes from the series in HD. Now you might think, okay, that's fine. I mean, you know, what's the difference between HD and SD? It's not going to be that much. Well, check this out. Check this out.
Wow, I look so much better.
Wow, I mean, seriously mind blown. I mean, how vibrant is not just the clarity but the colors. Can you see how they really pop out? And also, if you didn't notice, what they've also done is added, actually, I mean, the SD is 4:3. That's what it's like here. Let me try and find myself. Yep. What you do when they're looking at the HD footage is they're actually going to do it in 69 HD. So we're going to have more of the actual surrounding elements, you know, more elements stuff ish, you know, all the side bits and top bits and side bits in the middle, well, in the side still, but longer. So they're going to have all of that extra detail in there. And so the original plans were that they would have 5 minutes of HD footage in the documentary. However, there is another 15 minutes of footage that is in SD for the documentary at the moment. So what they are trying to do, so that's 20 minutes in total, by the way, maths. So what they are trying to do is actually do the entire 20 minutes in HD. And so what they've done is, the original series was crowdfunded. I think it was to the tune of $650,000, and that's a huge sum of money. Now what they're asking for is a little bit more money so they can do that extra HD footage for the 15 minutes. Now what they've done is they've, you know, obviously compartmentalized, as they do the various different tiers. Now you can sponsor $500, which obviously isn't an insignificant sum, but hey, it's DS9 in HD. Come on guys, if you can afford it, stick the money in. And there is a huge rationale for sticking the money into the documentary, because I think there is a real, maybe the best, our last best hope for a DS9 HD remaster lies in this campaign. Okay, now the $500 legacy sponsor will give you your name linked to a clip, apparently a random clip, and you get a signed certificate and a collectible challenge coin. And no, I have no idea what a challenge coin is or what does it challenge. And there's also a $50, which is obviously a bit more affordable for most, but not necessarily for all. Now the $50 high def hero sponsorship, which gets you the coin, you know, so you can put it on your mantelpiece and have a look at it from time to time, or use it to challenge others. Something. But there is also, for those who can't afford either of those tiers, there is also a high def tip jar, and you can donate anything from $1 to the remastering effort, or anything, you know, anything more, you know. So if you fancy, you know, that your aunt's inheritance, you know, don't give it to your cat, you know, don't give your money to your cat, give it to the DS9 remaster. Okay, sort it. So the link is for the backing is in the description, and I would urge you strongly to go and give, even if it's $1, please just go and give some money. At the moment, I think when I looked last, it's about $35,000-ish that they had raised, so that's pretty impressive. And I think CBS is looking, and I'll go into that in a much more detail in very shortly. Okay, so please, this is our last best hope for a DS9 remaster. So what the hell, what are you looking at this video for? Go click, go click, go click. So that was the news. Thank you very much. But for those who want to stay, please get your steaming Earl Grey ready and join me in my ready room, because I talk about our last best hope for a DS9 HD remaster.